Hello fellow students, welcome back or welcome to Everbloom Academy. My name is Megan and I am your headmaster for this upcoming semester and school year. If you are new to my channel and have never seen my face, my name is Megan and I obviously make bookish content on the internet. In the year 2024, September 2024 to be more precise, I created Everbloom Academy. If you are new here, let me quickly try to pitch Everbloom Academy to you. Everbloom Academy is a academic class-based prompt readathon, and it is set in different semesters. We have the September semester and then semester in February. There are also 2 catch-up rounds per year if you don't manage to read all the required reads for the semester you are in, or if you want extra bonuses like hall passes, which you don't need to fret about right now. That is the gist of it. What you need to know is that Everbloom is also designed to be a department-based readathon. In the first year, you kind of have to pledge yourself to a department and do the basics for that department. And in year 2, it becomes a competitive department-based readathon where you battle it out for points and all that sort of thing. Now, if you are a year 1 viewer and want to know more, want to participate, what I will tell you is I have timestamps down below. You can navigate to the basic information for this round of the readathon, and then I invite you to go down below where I will have linked a video for the Everbloom Year 1 Semester 1. Go watch that video. All of the information regarding the prompts and the workaround of this readathon is there. I will also have linked a Google Drive down below with the necessary information for the requisites for this, but that first video is really where you're going to get all the information. So please go do that once I have talked about the basics, and then I will only be talking about year 2 semester 1 for my returning students. Now, I need to tell you guys one thing. Because we now have 2 cohorts, you get cohort numbers. Year 1 people is obviously year 1, and your cohort number is P925. And for my returning students that are in year 2, your cohort number is P924. So you can refer to with those numbers to the Google Drive and every other information you need. So let me proceed with the basic information. Again, there are timestamps down below if you're year 2 and don't care about this. And then year 1s, go watch that video. And year 2, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of this. So, basic information that everybody needs to know. This readathon spans from September 1st to 30th. That is the date. If you read a book on October 2nd, you can count it towards this readathon. Obviously, there will be a catch-up round in November, so if you don't finish, do not fret. You can use that time, just like last year, for my returning students to fulfill those missing prompts. Next thing you need to know, there are reading sprints for this readathon. Reading sprints will be hosted every Thursday evening. They are already set up on my channel under the live page. You can click notify me if you want to, and those are set up. There will also be opening sprints on September 1st and closing sprints on September 30th to kind of wrap up the readathon. This readathon also uses Discord. It is not mandatory, but again, I will leave that in the description as well as in the Google Drive. A lot of people share their TBRs, share questions, and just talk throughout the readathon. It is a very enjoyable place to be. I obviously monitor the area for it to be a safe space, but you can join if you please. It is not mandatory, but I feel like it gives you a good sense of community to be joining that Discord. Otherwise, there will be a frequently asked questions sheet up on the Google Drive as well. All the information in this video is somehow, in some way, shape, or form in the Google Drive as well. All the prompts, everything else is there, but just know there will be a frequently asked questions. But just to go over some of them, for my year 1s, you can double up on prompts between pretty much anything. It could be a department mixed with an elective, whatever, you can double up. For year 2, I will talk about that separately, but you cannot double up for every single thing. But yes, you can double up on books. There is a form where you can fill out your books. Again, it is not mandatory, but if you want to be included in giveaways or such, or if you want just to have on record what you are reading, it is not mandatory for year 1, but highly encouraged. But it is mandatory for year 2 because, as I said, this becomes a point-based readathon. I need to calculate your points. So there's that. If you have any other questions, please refer to the frequently asked questions page. If not, drop me a message either in the comments or in the Discord, and I'll be happy to answer. I think that's everything year one needs to know. Again, please refer to the video. Please refer back to that. It's going to make so much more sense, and you can decide there if you want to partake or not. But from now on, I am talking to my P924 people, my year 2 people. So let's go. Okay, you guys, let's get cracking. What you need to know. And I'm going to try to make this make as much sense as possible. 1. You need to have pledged to your department before September 1st or on September 1st. It's the last day. I will have a Google form in the drive for you to fill out because I need to know how many people are on each team, and you cannot change what team you're on once you have pledged. So please think of this wisely because, as I mentioned in the introduction, from this point on, is a point-based readathon, and we are going with a system that is per capita, so per amount of people per team, and I will be dividing that so that the numbers make sense because not all the teams are evened out in regards to numbers. So that is very important, and you need to remember to log your books because I will have a leaderboard each week, and by the end of the month we are going to crown a department winner for the first semester. The winners will have an advantage for the next round of the readathon, and they will be entered to win a giveaway. So that is kind of like the incentive for joining a team. In that incentive mode, we are going to have 2 24-hour challenges. They're not 24-hour readathons, like you don't have to stay up for 24 hours and read, but I will be hosting sprints and, you know, casually reading. But the point of this is kind of to attack other teams or just to increase the amount of points your team has. So the first challenge is going to be a 24-hour sabotage where I will be releasing points both on the community page prompts on the community page and the Discord, and if you fulfill those prompts you get a certain amount of extra points that goes towards your team. And the second is a 24-hour steal where you can go pick prompts from the other departments, read them, and you get double the amount of points that those prompts are worth, which I think is really cool. I will leave the dates to that in the Discord and the description because I still need to double check my dates, but they will be in the places where the information usually is. And again, you don't have to read 1,000 books. You can read 1 book and increase or, like, you know, make a difference for your team. And again, it is per capita, so if there's 3 of you on your team, it could still work out in your favor. For this round, departments are taking over, you guys. We have 5 department classes, 1 elective, as well as 3 basic classes that everybody needs to do. When I talked about doubling up, I said that you cannot double up on everything, and that is because each department class has a basic option and an advanced option, which is different in points. Basic classes will give you 10 points, and advanced classes will give you 20. In your departments, you can do 1 class for 10 points, another class for 20. You don't have to pick the advanced route and read advanced for all of them. It is kind of like a pick as you go kind of thing. And that is how you will fulfill your points. So you can double up on 2 basic classes or 2 advanced classes, but you cannot double up between an advanced class and a basic class because they would clash for the points. So you need to double up only with basic or only with advanced, but that doesn't mean you can only read basic or advanced prompts. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, I will give you an example once we get to the prompts. But if you have any questions, let me know in the Discord or the comments, and I will try to explain as best as I can. We also have extra credit, again, for this readathon. The extra credit this time is The Chronicles of Weatherwhy, The Age of Enchantment by Anna James. The sequel is coming out in September. I needed a reread, and I think this is the perfect kind of vibes for this readathon. It is a middle grade fantasy story, and it is kind of academia based. There's magic, seasonal magic in there. It hits a lot of different prompts that I have gone through this readathon, and if you decide to read this, basically you can cancel out one of the prompts that is mandatory, so you can decide not to read a basic class, a department class, or your elective in choosing the extra credit, and you also get plus 5 points extra for the extra credit if you do decide to participate. The breakdown of the chapters is already on Discord, and we will have a live discussion for this in early October for those of you who wish to participate in the extra credit. But again, as the title would suggest, it is not a mandatory thing to participate in. For those of you who have hall passes can be used during this round, but remember, you cannot double up when using a hall pass. If you have a hall pass, you can use it for one prompt. If you have two hall passes, you can use for two different prompts, but you cannot like use a hall pass and say like, I'm not doing two prompts, I'm doubling up. You cannot do that with hall passes, and you can use as many hall passes as you have accumulated. I trust you guys. That is how hall passes work. Now we're gonna get into the fun stuff, the prompts. So hold on tight, you guys. In the Google Drive, I made these little schedules for each of the departments. In this schedule, you will find your 5 mandatory department classes, your 3 mandatory basic classes, one that says elective because you get to choose your own elective, and then what says free periods is just for the aesthetic. You don't need to read anything or do anything for the free periods. It's just to make it look like an actual class schedule. Let's start with the basic classes. For this semester, we are doing 3 basic classes. We are doing Geography of Everbloom 301, History of Magic 301, as well as Ancient Languages 301. For Geography of Everbloom 301, the prompt is submerged cities. That is what we are learning about this year. And the prompt for that is to read a book that has a map with some water on it. So there needs to be some sort of water within the map of the story. As easy as that. For History of Magic, this semester we are learning about the rise of magical institutions, and for that you need to read a book featuring academia. It doesn't need to be dark academia, just academia. It could be for 10% of the book, the entire book. It doesn't matter as long as an academic inspired setting or topic takes place. You're good to go. And for Ancient Languages 301, we are learning about the power of ancient scripts, and for that you need to read a book released before 2015. And when I say before, I mean 2015 does not count. It is before the year of 2015. So that is some basic classes that everybody needs to do. Like, everybody needs to check all 3 of them off the list. You can double up with these. There are no counter indications, and there are no basic versus advanced classes for the basic classes. Everybody gets 10 points for those. We then have the 6 elective choices, of which you need to choose 1. If you want to do more, you can. You will get points for them, which is 10 points, so you can log them, but it is not mandatory in order to move on with the semester. So the electives are Navigating Dreams 201. In your second Navigating Dreams classes, you are going to learn how to create daydreams, and that prompt is to read a healing fiction. Potion Brewing 201. In your second potion brewing class, you are to focus on mastering the beautification potion, which is to read a book you bought because of the cover. Fortune Telling 201. In your second fortune telling class, you are to focus on tarot reading. Let a tarot card pick your read. Now, there are tarot cards online if you want, like, there's things you can shuffle. There are different ways to interpret this. Like, you can go with the cover, you can go with the vibe, you can go with the title. That part is up to interpretation. We then have Creating Illusions 201. In your second Creating Illusion classes, you are to focus on creating tactile illusions, and that is to read a book with deckled edges. We then have Weather Manipulation 201, which in your second Weather Manipulation class, you are focusing on creating rainbows, and it is to read a book featuring at least 2 colors of the rainbow. And the last possible elective class is Spellcasting 201. And in Spellcasting 201, which is your second spellcasting class, you are to focus on the spell of divination, which is knowledge seeking. For that, you are to read a non-fiction book. As I said, you can pick any of these. Even if you didn't do, for example, Potion Brewing 102, you can still do Potion Brewing 201. You need at least 1 elective. Each elective is 10 points. If you want to accumulate more points for your team, you can read more than 1 and log them, but the mandatory amount of electives is 1. And then we get to the most exciting part, which is the departments. And for the departments, as I mentioned, each class has the option of a basic or advanced. For basic classes, you get 10 points, and for advanced classes, you get 20. You can choose to do 3 out of the 5 classes, advanced and 2 basic. You can do all of them basic, all of them advanced. It doesn't matter. It's just you calculating how many points you are looking for your team, or what prompts speak to you most. Starting with the Department of Half-Truths and Full Cover-Ups, we have our first class, which is Hidden Hand, How to Hide Power in Plain Sight. The basic prompt for that, which will give you 10 points, is a book with a hand on the cover. And for the advanced class, we have a book with the chosen one trope. Remember, basic is 10 points, advanced is 20. We then have the Trickster Art, Manipulation, Misdirection, and Magic Chaos. In this class, the basic prompt is to read a book that features a morally gray character, and the advanced prompt is to read a book that has a alliteration title. We then have Dark Paths and Cursed Oaths, which is making deals with the unseen. In that class, the basic prompt is to read a book featuring ghosts or paranormal elements, which will give you 10 points, and the advanced is a book where a character strikes a deal. Now that could be fake dating, a deal with the devil, any kind of deal, a competition kind of thing. Stretch that to your imagination and heart's desire. We have Art of Illusion, Mastering Deceptive Magic. The basic is to read a book with an illustrated cover, and the advanced prompt for that is to read a book with only font on the cover. And the last class for the Department of Half-Truths and Full Cover-Ups is Raven's Pact, Bargaining with Creatures. The basic class is to read a book with an animal on the cover, and the advanced is to read a book featuring a familiar. Those are all the classes you have to fulfill. Again, you cannot combine advanced classes with basic classes, but you can combine advanced with advanced and basic with basic if you want to double up on prompts, and you have to fulfill all 5 prompts for your department. We then have the Department of Magical Studies. The first class for you guys is Fairies, Ferns, and Folklore. For the basic class, we have a book featuring Fae, and the advanced class is to read a book inspired by folklore tales, for example, any Sophie Anderson book. We then have the Fireflies and Fairy Tales class. The basic for that class is a book that sparked your interest, because fireflies. And the advanced class is a book featuring royalty. The third class for you guys is the Alchemy of Seasons. The basic class for that is to read a book set in the fall, and the advanced class is to let the Magic Cauldron pick your TBR. So you need to randomize your TBR and pick. That could be randomizing library books, right? Randomizing with a number generator, picking out of a TBR jar, whatever you want to do, you gotta randomize your TBR. The fourth class is Cloud Watching. The basic prompt is to read a book with a pale cover, and the advanced prompt is to read a book with a skyline. The last class you guys have for the semester is Creatures of the Deep. The basic class is to read a moss-colored cover, and the advanced is to read a book set at sea. And the last department, which is the Department of Supernatural Investigations, and I think maybe the department with the most people, don't quote me on that. Let's dive on in. Your first class is The Eternal Flame, which is the study of fire spirits and their role in creation and destruction. The basic prompt is to read a book that sparks joy, and the advanced prompt is a book with fire or red and orange on the cover. So there either needs to be fire on the cover, or it needs to have at least some red and orange. Both colors need to be on the cover. We then have Surviving by Any Means. For this class, the basic prompt is to read a manga or graphic novel, and the advanced class is to read a book that is less than 200 pages. Less than is 199 or less. We then have The Lost Realms, Worlds Forgotten, and for that class, the basic prompt is to read a book that nobody has talked about on social media, at least that you've heard of. And the advanced is to read a sequel or companion novel that took at least 2 years to release. So if book 1 released in 2017, book 2 should be released in like 2019 or 2020 for this to work. The next class is Art of the Chase, Mastering the Skill of Pursuit and Evasion. The basic prompt is to read a book you've been avoiding, and the advanced prompt is to read a book with a character that is in pursuit of something. It could be of someone, a thing, a quest, someone trying to get someone romantically interested in them. That would all work. And the last prompt is Creatures of the Twilight Realm, and for that the basic prompt is to read a book with a black or navy book cover, and the advanced prompt is to read a book featuring magical, mystical creatures. And I think, you guys, that is a wrap on everything you need to know for Everbloom. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the Discord or in the chat, and I will try to answer them as best I can. Also, the Google Drive will have all of the information from this video, so if you feel like you've missed a part, want to re-listen to the prompts, like, all of it will be in the Drive. All the forms necessary will be in the Drive as well. It will be the hub for the information. All of the prompts are in each class schedule, and the class schedule is like a PDF that I put together that is in the Drive as well. And for my year 1 people, if you stay till the end, all of the prompts for year 1 semester 1 and year 1 semester 2 are in that Drive as well. And yeah, for my sake, because obviously I'm not choosing a department because I love everyone equally, I will be putting all of the prompts in a jar and picking some out and reading those throughout the month. That is how I'm going to pick my September TBR, and I'm very excited about it. So I am super excited for this. I hope I get to chat with you guys soon. Let me know if you are participating, and I'll see you guys on September 1st for some reading sprints. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys, happy reading.